The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
I want to talk about today, and I want to help you as much as I can. Everybody wants to get to the millionaire, but you got to do it through the corporate structure. Now, as we begin, I'd like you to get a tablet and pen. My name is Ray. Last name is Reynolds. Write it down on the top of that tablet. Write down today's date because I want to show you exactly how to get to the American dream. Next thing is basically this is always live. I do this literally 6 times a week and have fun helping people on Wednesday and Saturday through classes that are always live with me. Again, tablet and pen, put it down in here, the brain. Write it down. The more you write down, the more you record. Now, again, I like goodies. You like goodies too? I'm going to show you how I got to millionaire. I'm going to show you how I got to 2.6 billion in 26 corporate structure. If you pay attention today, my story started pretty simple. I got born in a taxi. All right, this little girl didn't want me, so I got to be with Mrs. Hope, the she-devil from hell. Now, my mommy and daddy are billionaires, but they didn't want me and threw me in a trash can. Well, what am I going to do? Go home and go boo-hoo-hoo? Mrs. Hope got to use and abuse me too. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? The bottom line is your journey begins today with me. Now, I got a couple of problems I got to let you know up front. Number one, I write with both hands simultaneously, 2 different things, and I can have another conversation. Both sides work. I have an IQ of 203 with total recall, and they told me when I was 6 years old, or 6th grade, that I was retarded because they didn't understand me. And unfortunately, I end up rhyming all the time. Well, that's just a problem that I have, so you got to put up with it today. Bottom line is I want you to look behind that curtain. Why? Because you've been listening to silly people. I'm sorry to say, but the reality is you follow ducks and sheep, and that's got to change starting today. Now, the ultimate goal, please get out your personal credit cards. See, I want to get to the million to billion, but you understand how the rules work. These personal credit cards in your personal wallet today, you need a sticky. On the sticky, you need to write down the limit of the card, maintain 25% always, never pass 29%. Problem you got to realize is you keep doing this to your credit and you keep screwing it up. I'm going to show you exactly how you never have to do it again. Now, I'm the guy that trained Ken Yarborough. He was security chief at TOW Spearing years ago. And if you did exactly what I told you to do on these 2 cards here, that's 100,000. That is 29% utilization. That means you have 71,000 of safety credit used to develop what's called a line of defense. Now, I want you to look at a corporation today. Here's chapter 18. I'm not to be your CPA or attorney. That's not my job. But I do want to explain to you that a corporation is a legal person. It's right in front of you. Now, I heard this when I was 7.5 years old, listening to a poker game, and I wrote it down. And I went down to the Torrance Police Department the next day, and then I wanted to figure out, what does it mean? See, I was looking for a blueprint. I asked the librarian what it meant. She walked away and she was rude. She came back about 5 minutes later and said, "Here's a microphone, here's a bug." I thought she was just a bee. Anyway, you realize it says it may sue or be sued? You see that right in front of you? So understand something today. Here's the problem. Every time you watch TikTok, Google, YouTube, and all this good stuff, great. When the people say you need an LLC or this is how rich and famous people, that's BS. So the reality is I'm the one who trains most rich and famous people anyway. But let's explain to you what I need you to do. I went back to that library for 2 years because she gave me that book. Here's a book, here's a microfiche. I read the book. It didn't give me a blueprint. That was the biggest frustration for me. I wanted to get out of hell. I was motivated. So what did I do? I sent away a money order to the Secretary of State of California. I was 9.5 years old, by the way. And if you have a corporation, you spend thousands with an attorney, CPA, and incorporating service. I'm sorry, they kind of silly and dumb. Why? Because you didn't learn diddly squat, and they ripped you off. Now, I'm the founder of Helping Hand Industries. I got $100,000 of credit in the mail. See, back in the 70s and 80s, they just sent this stuff in the mail all the time. Now I got all these books full of credit cards, about 53 million over the years, having fun. So we get to play the game, we get to win. I even basically was named in the movie Dave, but at 12.5 years old, I had a problem. I got named in a lawsuit because I used the word Braille. I started the first Orange County Blind Center using the word Braille. I found out it was owned by the Braille Institution. So I had to figure out trade names, trademarks, and copyrights too. Now that scared the you-know-what out of me. So in 85, 86, I developed something called division process. Can you pay attention today and turn these up? Because I'm going to show you how you never bring the pain home ever again. Now understand, when I was a little boy, they kept saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I asked the grown-ups what that meant. I'm sorry, all they could do is go, beep, beep, beep. That's about it. See, when I was a little boy, I thought the grown-ups were stupid. When I grew up, I realized they were stupid, sorry to say. If you got a corporation today, just check it out on Secretary of State's website. Your name's all over it. When they sue the corp, they sue you. It doesn't matter what type of corporation you get in the beginning. It matters basically the SS4. So I invented division process. Let's show you how to play the game. Now, for there, it's very simple. The next thing they kept saying is put your ducks in a row. Well, I asked what that meant too, and they couldn't answer the questions. What did I do? I created a corporation with 3 divisions. I created and invented division process so you never bring the pain home ever again. So warning about me. Not only am I honest, I'm blunt. And the reality is I'm going to tell it like it is. If you follow stupid, you end up doing stupid. That doesn't mean you're stupid. I build millionaires every day. Would you like to be next? Let me know. All right, I'm Ray Reynolds, the Godfather of Credit. Bottom line is I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to treat you like you're 2 years old. And I'm going to do most of the work for you anyway. So your goal is to never bring that pain home ever again. Now me, I like to build a long-term relationship with my clients. Like today, there's about 6 people that have been clients for 30 plus years. I do it from their generation to generations, when they're kids, grandma, mom, and dad, and everything else too. So if you want to build a lifetime legacy with me, and I'll be your coach. All right, we can build that relationship and keep going forward too. The ultimate goal, foolproof program. So let's understand something today. I help rich and famous people every day too. All right, no matter where they come from, no matter what they do. Here's people come from homeless people. Glenn lived in his car for 3 years. $1,600,000. Little Karen Properties in Long Beach. All right, videos on TikTok and Google too. $1,200,000 in 9 months. Now, we also got to help people coming out of prison, like Freeway Ricky, Dickie Ross. Here you go, gold and platinum cards. Thomas was in prison for 26 years. Within 8 months, I built him up and away in a corporation doing millions in credit as well. So the reality is you got to understand how this actually works. So we got to go back a little time. Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1934 had the Gold Reserve Act. He confiscated everybody's gold but their wedding ring. See, you and me, we got our SS5 and SSN, Social Number, for the 1040 tax return when we were 14 to 16 years old. Then all of a sudden, Nixon took the gold standard out. What did that mean for most mamas? They delivered a baby at the hospital. That means she had to sign the SS5, the SSN form for the baby before it gets to go home. Bottom line, that's how they bond us up to $35 million a piece. So today I want to show you exactly the biggest mistake most people make. Probably you. The SS5 equals SSN Social Security number. That equals to the 1040 tax return. You get one. We the people. So we get one number that can basically tax, and probate when we're dead. The time at the hospital is actually for the state and federal government. Had nothing to do with the consumers or your family and your friends too. So what do we get to do? Let's compare the SS5 to the SS4. We're going to see, understand something today. Your banks, grocery stores, and cities file bankruptcy on locations. That's called branch numbers. And if you look at line 1 right in front of you, it says legal name of entity. And it says also individual person. Your name could go online. That's the way it was designed in the first place. SS5 equals SSN 1040. SS4 equals 1120, known as the tax ID. Unfortunately, you didn't learn to play because you followed ducks and sheep anyway. So let's bring the pain home. Let's never bring that pain home again. Let's give you truly a second chance to play and win. See, what happens is some of you didn't want to pay taxes, so you don't file tax returns. That means you should just go to prison, like Wesley Snipes. He went to prison for 3 years playing that stupid game too, and fined $5 million. See, if you don't want to pay tax, understand, you can look at the IRS.gov, look at the 1244 form. That allows the corporation and you to file one tax return and almost never pay tax anyway. So those silly people that did it wrong, it's like, come on, pay attention. How do you play a game? You play by the rules. You get to play to win. Unless you're a cheater, and you don't want to be a cheater anyway. So guess what? The lack of knowledge just makes people do stupid things. So the bottom line is why corporate cash credit is pretty simple. It's a write-off. All right, it's free money. You just finance and pay the monthly payment. It doesn't hurt your family. Division process builds up to $1 million of credit, and you're no longer a duck or a sheep. From there, you get to build your legacy, the ultimate goal for you and your family. So I call it free money. So if we get $50,000, $100,000 of credit, you just have to maintain the payment. You can take $50,000 and invest it into a business and become an investor and create about $75,000 a month positive cash flow. By the way, that's called residual income for you. What none of you are building today, and you should be. The bottom line is be that investor. You got 16 ways to learn how to be an investor with me, and I'll teach you how to play the game. Maybe you'll use a hedge fund, maybe real estate, franchise, storage unit, or something like that too. Now we got to look at the United States of America Incorporated. Why? They got 50 corporations called states. States got corporations called cities. They invented Chapter 9 bankruptcy in the Federal Protection Act. They bankrupt 11 cities dead since they had business in front of you. Your problems, you went home and boo-hoo-hoo. By the way, you could have played the same game if you paid attention today with no intent to do fraud. We the people, corporations, a legal person. Stop bringing the pain home. Pretty simple to say and do. Now again, let's write down division of me. On that line 1, I can put a corporation, a name or a person, or division or subsidiary. I can build you a corporate umbrella with $1 million of credit, which you like, to finance your dream, ultimate goal. So let's think about today, division of me. Let's take one of the cars out of the car collection. Here's one of the Lamborghinis. Here's the keys. It's $1 million Lamborghini. Payment $6,800 a month. If I pay for it and I can't pay, they take it away. Then I got shitty credit. And then they report it to the IRS as a 1099-C. So now I got an IRS problem and a credit problem. So I got double shitty credit. If I buy it through the corporation, they sue the corp, they still sue me. I'm a duck and a sheep. So would you be too. But if I buy it the way I designed it for me, you can do it for you too. So I did it as a division of a corporation. I have no intent to do fraud. Then I also showed you SSN, SS4, right? I guaranteed as a division. That means if I got a problem, I get to do the 3-step I designed for me. Can you write it down for you? I can disconnect, isolate, incorporate. I can take that division over here, that problem, put it over here while I maintain my corporation and my other pieces. See, your goal is to protect the corporation and you and your family. And if I can't say within 6 months under the Federal Protection Act, public record, I get to bankrupt the hell out of it and throw the sucker away. But I never hurt the corporation or my family. Got it so far? So then it's like the lease in a building. Every property you ever lease out, you don't know who's going to slip and fall and try to sue you and kind of screw you up. See, the bottom line is when you look at TikTok, Google, and YouTube and all the silly things you see, they're talking about this corporate type of corp, that corp, LLC, that. Stop. All that matters is flat out receiving money in the SS4 because you don't pay tax till you're profitable. The next thing, we have to look at the Fair Lending Act. One card's entitled to 99 more. So that's up to $1 million, $100 million of credit to build your business today. All right, so I build you a corporate umbrella. Will that be okay with you? So the ultimate goal, what do we get to do? I'd like you to look at a corporation today. Look at yours if you have one. Check it out, Secretary of State. Why? Your name's on it. You're the incorporator, you're the officer. So when they sue the corp, they sue you. You're a duck and a sheep. That kind of sucks. So when they said put your ducks in a row when I was a kid, they couldn't give me a solution, so I just designed it for them. I designed it for me, and then you knew. So remember, that corporation gets sued, and they sue you. You're a duck and a sheep unless you get a line of defense called the division process. You want to play yet? So you don't bring the pain home ever again? Now there's that $100 million building across the South Coast Plaza Mall. There's that $1 million Lamborghini. There's a $5 million mansion too that I obtained, just one of them. And there's a Ray Reynolds University on the race boat. My name's in all of it. Why? Because it's a marketing tool. I obtained it. Why haven't you? So you like goodies yet? I can build you as many goodies as you want to, but you got to realize one thing. All right, we got to build you up and away like Humpty Dumpty. So the next thing is you want to be the next corporate mayor, let me know. So if you let me add you to my system, I can rebuild you. Now, it's not easy. You're going to work your tail off, but you're going to have to do what I ask and tell you to do. Is that okay with you? As we play, what's your goal? Next thing is you take the calendar of the day and you dissect it to how many working days are left of the year. See, I'm online 45 years. I've been online or in person 45 years. Pandemic has always been online ever since then too, but we got to get back out there and be in person too. So if you want $1 million of credit, let me know. Call our floor manager, Santos, at 800-254-9506. If you want me to coach you between now, this year, and next year, you let me know. Once again, private coaching with me for over a year and a half. You ask for Santos again. Next, we got to think about credit, loan, and money. I'm sorry to say you had some money before and you kind of spent it and you kind of pissed it away. Then you broke the next day. I like to show you something. Credit, loan, and money. Reference 3 times 5. If we take a $100,000 credit card like Wells Fargo or any other bank, and they come with a checkbook, we write a check back to the corporation. Why? Because we can. We can even use the corporation checkbook to make its own payments. We put it back in the bank. We reference 3 times 5. That means they'll give you up to $1.5 million. Your corporation should have a franchise. It should have an apartment complex. Why? Because that's called residual income. I had 19 properties at 17 and a half years old. I'm trying to get number 20, and they kept telling me I can't do this because of the loan to value problem too. So what did I do? I transferred into my divisions, freed up the loan to value problem. Then I went up and away. I've been doing real estate, commercial, personal real estate, franchises and things like this, building residual income for over 45 years. By the way, I've had a paycheck for 30 years. So if you listen to me and tell you exactly what to do, financial freedom. This should be able to build you up to $50,000 a month, positive cash flow, called residual income. When it comes to the credit that I can build you, corporate divisions, it's called the 4-step. If I add you to a credit card that I have on my dashboard and basically build you up and away, then ask for separate billing, then you get your own card, up to $100,000 too. Simple. Maybe you want to do some real estate. 3 divisions, 3 properties. You have properties from $35,000 to $75,000, brand new in 14 different states. Residual income. Now, if you don't want to manage or have someone manage it for you, maybe a Section 8. The rent's always guaranteed too. Next thing, you get to play the game to build what? Residual income up to $50,000 a month. So our goal is simple today. Please look in the mirror. I've been doing the mirror test since I was 5 and a half, now actually about 4.5 years old. When I was a little boy, I started doing this. All right, first time was 2.5, then 4.5, then 5.5, trying to figure out what am I going to do. So I had to put myself in check. I never got a mommy and a daddy like you. So why don't you basically ask yourself a question? What did you do yesterday to get to the $1 million dream? Maybe you get the repo list. All right, probate, divorce list, bankruptcy list. Why don't you sell supplies and vendor credit? Corporations should have $1 million of credit for every division, checkbook money, and supply and vendor money too. If you work your tail off for basically the next 3 to 6 months, maybe to a year, by the time you turn around, you're going to have about a $10 million company. But the biggest problem we still have is you. Don't think, just do. So making your money making machine is the ultimate goal as we play. So why don't we go sell Apple computers or Dell or some kind of supply and vendor credit called OPM, and don't pay a bill up to 90 days using the system that I created and through the Dun & Bradstreet process too. Sell on Amazon and eBay. Simple to do as well. So understand, if you're not a client, take a picture of this page, click. Here's a call with me, private, live, 90 days, level 1, 2, 3 specialty classes. On Saturday, I have 10 classes live from 6 in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Based on your investment, that's the bonus credit I give you back. I always try to give you up to 10 times your money back, whatever you invest with me. Now, if you're basically a client, you want an extra 10,000 added to a package, it's $499. 25,000 a day, it's $999 for you. It's a Zelle only. And as it says, current active customer only. Very simple to do. There's your Zelle. Take a picture. Zelle is simple. Ray Reynolds recipient. Ray at rayscredit.com. The ultimate goal. Put RW in your Zelle. What's your Zelle for it too? Ultimate goal. If you need to call the office at 800-254-9506, you can do that as well. So I like goodies. You like goodies yet today? So we got some choices. Let's understand God's gift, the mansions in the harbor. I like goodies. And I usually put Ray Reynolds University and all the goodies too. Why? Because I want to show you exactly what I obtained, not a bunch of blah, blah, blah you see all over the place on the internet too. Real goodies, buildings, and Lamborghinis. So the bottom line is you get to play. But again, I like to rebuild every one of you my way. Now I accomplished my goals. I will not rest till I do. That's just me. So I was motivated to get out of hell. See, I kicked the door jam at 10, then I start kicking the basketball hoop too. So there's me in 1981, fastest and highest kick on the planet. By the way, that means white men do jump, just stupid people say we don't. Kicked at the night lights that night. See, no matter where you come from, you can accomplish your goal if you truly want to. But again, there's my first car I obtained for me. I was 14 and a half when I bought my Quintos Lamborghini. Through an auction, I drove it to Orange Coast College too. So today, I don't hear no. When someone says no, I say thank you, I'll walk away. See, they say no because they don't know how to play. There's 1,000 steps to millionaire. All you got to do is follow through. Zero, big fat zero. I'm sorry, but I've dealt with millions of people for 45 years. Half the time I got to downsize because my spouse died or they didn't get anything. Their families are memory. They get a little peace. It breaks my heart when we walk through an estate. It's like you're looking through someone's life and then you're getting what? Bidding like Kmart. So let's think about today. I would like you to think about changing the direction, all right? Basically, because people were saying, we're going to make our children go through hard knocks too. No. Whatever you build and you work your tail off, let them take it over. Let me explain a little bit more for you too. Corporations live forever. You cannot. And that's the ultimate goal you got to think about today. So leaving a true legacy. Now, I'd like you to write down irrevocable trust. Then I'd like you to write down UCC1. Today, your house has a deed of trust, your car has a pink slip. The things in your house are your car or your office. Let's think about everything listed on the UCC1. Why don't we follow the county recorder's office? Let's turn it to a chattel mortgage and let's list it to irrevocable trust. See, I know where my goodies go when I die. Do you? I don't think you do. So I have to live by 3 things for me. I plan the problem, I plan to live, I plan to die. So understand I want to build you credit up to 10 times as much as you invest, if you allow me to, but it's going to be up to you. As we play, draw the diagram in front of you. See, here's a corporation with entities called divisions. Banks use branch numbers. They bankrupt locations all the time. Then you got Sam's Club, Geico, cities do it too. So what is your goal, first of all? Stop bringing the pain home. Become a certified CFO and reprogram your brain into millionaire status. Ultimate goal, my blueprint, I started it when I was 9.5 years old at the Torrance Library. I call it see it, believe it, go get it. The ultimate goal. So my thought of this week is simple for you. Stop treading water and stop playing it safe. Let's think. Right now, you need 5 things. No matter what, you need number one, you need to have a 750 credit score. You need to have a corporation with divisions. You need $1 million of cash credit. Sorry, checkbook money to $1 million and supply and vendor credit. That's what you need. Basically, is very true. And you know this, and so do I. Let me rebuild you. So if you take the diagram in front of you, once again, that's a corporation managing entities called division process. I invented 85, 86. This means you stop bringing the pain home. You put your ducks in a row under the same corporate umbrella. I get to repackage you. That'd be okay if I repackage you my way. See, I got my TV and radio show starting next year. I won't be available 6 days a week anymore. So let's see what I can do this year for you. So the ultimate goal here is rich and famous people. All right, and I help them, and they kind of listen better than most people anyway. You had a kitchen table meeting with your friends and family. You got excited to start a business, and then someone hopefully said, what if something goes wrong? Well, what did you do? You hocked up your credit cards, you dropped your score, you got stuck, you couldn't get any more, and you couldn't ride out a dilly squat. Sorry, it's true. The ultimate goal, then you hocked your house too. The goal is you're a grown-up. You're supposed to protect the family, not jeopardize your home. I never had a home when I was a kid, so I protect that no matter what anybody says and anybody does, and what you can do today. So let's understand. Write down today's date, project 90 working days. We want to make sure we rebuild you. It's like my Winning the Game book I wrote 45 years ago. Page 6 says cash flow for your time. Now I sold the Millionaires Founders Kit at the Bonavitcher for 32 years. Ultimate goal. All right, $5,000 a set. If you want to copy the 12 books and CDs, no problem. It's free as long as you sell over $99 shipping and handling. That's all you need to do. Ultimate goal. There's that Zelle. Once again, when you put RW in your Zelle for the books and CDs, put your address so I can ship them right away. Simple to do. If you need some help, you can always call the office at 800-254-9506. So starting a business, running a business, oh my goodness. The people around you, friends and family too, you know if they're going to knock you off the cliff, they're going to catch you, you're going to die. Hold your breath to that too. Now me, my first time of basically doing this, I was 2.5 years old. See, I had to wake up at 2:25, and I do that ever since then too. I drop to my knees. I say, thank you, Jesus, for another day. Then I go look in the mirror. I stare at myself, put myself in check. Most of you allow people to basically be what? Cloud your direction. I don't want you to do that anymore. I'd like to coach you for a lifetime if you allow me to. But again, July 4, 2009, 14 years ago, 3 yachts in the backyard worth millions and billions, corporate structure, helping people 6 days a week. What happens to me? My wife wants to take out one of the yachts with a group of people to watch the fireworks. Why not? Next day, I die in a coma. I get to hear what's going on in the room. It's weird. My tax attorney tricks my wife to sign a POA. The nurse asked my wife if I was a donor. Jesus gave me a choice, stay in peace or go back. I said go back that day. See, I had to move 24 times. I'm 11.5 years old. I've been shot twice. I've been nice 6 times. So I got no excuses, neither do you. You're feeling sorry for yourself. It's 3 minutes or less. I am truly God's example for you. I do have a book coming out this year called Jesus is Not a Drive-Thru. See, being a Christian's a way of life, not a moment in time. Another book is called Bite Your Tongue, Love Longer. I think people need to learn to just bite their tongue more, especially men. You know, women don't want to hear your blah, blah, blah. Women are like tape recorders. So the less you say, sometimes you're better off to bite your tongue and love longer. From there, fighting the monster within. We all have one too. And then my other one coming out here, bullshit doesn't pay your bills. It's true. Simple. From there, fighting the pain within. See, the bottom line is I like to have fun. I like to teach people and play. I think you're stuck today. Let's get you past go. All right, let's show you some real Lamborghinis with my name on them too, to the corporate structure, and Duffy's as well. Mansions and how white men do jump and stupid people say we don't. More Lamborghinis, race boats in the backyard, helicopters, U-Docks, yachts, and Ferraris. The ultimate goal called Ray's Rules. So I created my blueprint basically when I was 9.5. And once again, I call it see it, believe it, go get it. The ultimate goal. Credit repair, I'm sorry to say it's a fraud. I mean, I can't understand consumers being so stupid. They think a credit repair company has a freaking wand. Mine's broke. Can I borrow yours? See, if you got bad credit, you screwed up. You're guilty. Live with it or rebuild it. Federal Trade says credit repair can't basically collect money up front and they're a fraud. What do you need to do? Download a Section 611 today. Find exactly what needs to be done. In other words, if you have an open collection account, don't rip off your creditor. You're going to have to negotiate, man up and woman up. Don't be a crook. From there, if you want that 750 score, negotiate in the open collection account. All cards but two, 25%, 29% rule. Rapid refresh, what does that do for you? Now you got a 750 score. I also basically want to get to the $1 million dream, I'll call it the KISS method, which is simple. Keep it simple, stupid. See, people aren't stupid. They just follow silly people instead. Here's your first 25 steps today. Intuit by Credit Karma, December 3rd, 2020. And there's still no funding to help you. So if you allow me to analyze your credit right away, basically I'm going to show you exactly what I want you to do. On Saturday during my 10 classes that are live, the one at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time, I take cases and I rotate the case numbers to tell people what they need to do live with me. I'll have no excuses, neither do you. So here's that SS5 you didn't pay attention to. That says name to be shown on card, full name of birth other than above. So you basically understand today you got an SS5 form that no one paid attention to, the SSN to the 1040 tax return. Look at your Social Security card. It's not even your card, by the way. It's in your possession. It's supposed to be 9/10 lost possession, right? But it's not yours. It says do not laminate, do not carry with you, and don't use for any purposes. And it always says property of such administration, not you. So what happens next is you got the SSN to create the 1040 tax return. Your first paycheck years ago, you thought they ripped you off. And then you basically, they came back and said, no, the IRS gets their cut, you get the leftover. That's what makes us a bunch of ducks and sheep if we don't pay attention. That's why you're going to need to look at irs.gov and the 1244. Don't let's never pay tax again. You get one SSN. We're all ducks and sheep. We get one SS4 for the corporation. They sue the corp. They sue me. They sue you. So the only way around that is to play like banks and grocers and cities do. Subsidiaries are the division process that I invented. So that way we don't bring the pain home. And the division, your name's not even on it. Okay, the reality is you're not a liable party. So divisions are great. Let's rebuild your SSN. So you're basically going to be a good CFO for the corp and the divisions. At the same time, let's rebuild and get you to understand the SS4. 26 ways to use that form. Most people didn't pay attention to that too. Choose wisely. Don't bring the pain home. All right, be a double CFO. Put your ducks in a row under the same corporate umbrella. Never bring the pain home. See, there's that SS5. Why don't we compare it to the SS4? Would that be okay if we do that too? Where it says line one entity or individual person, bank, grocery store, city. How about your name right there? Did you know your name right there can set up a division and basically have you? So what do? It says banking and credit purpose in front of you per entity. So we get to play. Your corporation should only do 4 things. Number 1, buffer tax, no taxes due to your profitable. Credit is basically a write-off to the tax ID, cart fleet price, and then you get the free buffet at the hotel. That's all your corporation should do. Now, the line of defense is your divisions. See, you didn't give yourself a backup. You allowed yourself to be one, a duck and a sheep, because you follow ducks and sheep. The reality is you got to learn to play. All right, they're cheap, multiple functions, buy at wholesale price, multiple credit reports, and separate liability, especially when it comes to real estate. Divisions give you literally your line of defense under the corporate umbrella. We get to play. But again, divisions, you're not liable, and you're not a duck. I will guarantee what I say I can do. As long as you follow through and do what you're told to do, don't violate, all right? Do not jack up cards. Do not apply. Don't crash your rapid rescore. If you do, I'm sorry to say I'll charge you a fee or I might have to close your case. An open collection account, negotiate, please. Past can't change future. You have an IRS problem, 656, 433A and B. The ultimate goal, step 3. So what do we get to do now? There's that 750 waiting for you. All you got to do is let me analyze you, rapid refresh, and then here's an example. All right, the average rapid rescore goes straight up. In 3 days, I got him 96 points. Is that okay? Would you like me to do that for you? So understand, there's 750 every time when you do what you're told, and the reality is a rapid refresh, you're always guaranteed above a 750. The ultimate goal, but you got to be part of the program. So here's a nice lady. She got a 651. Her grandfather gave her half a fashion item. She's actually a billionaire. Her goal was, how do I have a 651, Ray? I got no bad credit. Why are you using half your cards? All right, my attorney, CPA, and banker told me to. You're listening to Dumb, Dumb, and Dumber. So I did a rapid rescore, push her scores up, created green lights. Got her an 801. Is that okay with you? So here's a nice couple. They were tricked to file a bankruptcy because they were told they had to. As far as I'm concerned, you never file bankruptcy unless they're going to sell your house today or garnish your wages too. So I had to rebuild this couple. Here's an unsecured card for $500. 11 collection accounts. Here's 3,000 to balance your debt. So if you let me rebuild you, rapid rescore, you go to class on Saturday, you pay attention, the goal is a 750. But again, it's usually $999. And then I give you a card for $500 or a $1,000 card back to you. During the broadcast, our goal and my goal is to basically do half price. $499, you get a card for $500. The goal is to reimburse you while we rebuild you. There's your Zelle, RW, and your Zelle, what you put your Zelle for too. Simple to do. Next thing, if you need help, call the office, 800-254-9506. Now, here's another problem you have. You're on the national mailing list. You did it to yourself. Why? Because you're on the voter list 412 times a year. They sell that list. Cable bill, corporation. Why don't you call 888-567-8688 and opt out for 5 years? Get off the national mailing list. Up to you. Next, I want you to plan the problem. In other words, you allowed a friend and family member to rip you off. You loaned them money and they came back saying, I'm sorry. See, when you give something free, they don't respect it. The only thing you have to do is realize when you earn something, you respect it. So what happens is safety credit. Don't forget the rules I gave you earlier for the sticky behind your card. Create your line of defense. The way it worked is when I designed it years ago is 0 to 29 is green, 30 is yellow, 50 is red. So that discipline will give you the ability, as long as you maintain the sticky, so you don't screw up again. The next problem you always have is you're going to say you're going to jack up a card. I'm going to say knock it off. All cards but 2 use the 29% rule. House and car don't fluctuate your credit. Neither the gold and platinum cards. And you can max them up to $1 million, as long as you maintain the payment. So you don't bring your score below 750 ever again. What happens when most people, when they lose their job, have an emergency, what do? They run out of time, they run out of money, and they can't wait to go jack up their credit cards, get stuck, can't get any more, can't ride up dilly squat. What do? You want to tell the world they feel sorry for them. The reality is no. So if you needed $5,000 today, now, what would you do? You go ask your friends, your family, the bank, they say no. But there's a $5,000 card in my hand called safety. If you max it out, the payment's $50 a month. They say the average person wastes $50 every other day. So if you waste $140 a week, what they say, $600 a month, all right, that's $600 a month right there. I take $50,000 off a corporate credit card, the payment is $612.26, and I get to write it all off. So let's understand today. During a pandemic, you get to buy 2 pizza restaurants using some common sense. Residual income once again. Oh, there it is. White men do jump stupid. People say we don't. Nixon took the gold standard out. Now it's time to write down Ray's rules. All right, very simple. What I want you to realize is 28% utilization, 71,000 safety. Your goal is to remember, borrow money is not taxable. So the only thing would screw up in the future would be a division, not the corporate, not your family. You got to quit bringing the pain home. Ray's rules, step number 7. Become a certified CFO. Never bring that pain home ever again. So let's play. So there I am in a coma 14 years ago. I get to die 5:41 on July 5th. What happens next is simple. I wish I could have sat up and go boo and scare the hell out of them. I couldn't. Once you Google the address and find out I'm telling you the truth. I've been in 2 comas so far. One, I was crippled, and Jesus said, get up. I got up. Last one, I got to die and come back and help you. See, the devil's trying to knock us down and hold us back. But God's delays aren't God's denials. I like to rebuild you like Humpty Dumpty. Can I do that for you too, please? That way I can coach you for a lifetime too. I like building relationships for lifetimes. They get you to million to billion. Would that be okay? Again, a corporation is a legal person that may sue or be sued, but a division gives you the line of defense, and the lack of knowledge makes people do things, stupid things. And people aren't stupid, they just follow stupid. Divisions are the line of defense. Your banks and grocery stores, they have subsidiaries, and they learn to play the game too. So let's understand something. The only thing that screws up in the future would be a division, not the corporate, not your family. I like to build you a corporate umbrella if you allow me to. Which means if you allow me to get you the tax ID, I'll establish your corporation's credit reports, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. I'll line you up, cash credit, and get you some checkbook money, line you up for that too. So the ultimate goal is going to be up to you to follow through. Now, usually up to 9 divisions are up to $1 million. 41 is usually up to 5 million. See, it's a numbers game. That's how you play to win. Today, look at basically Secretary of State in your state. Find your corp, find your duck and a sheep. Find out I'm telling you the truth. When they sue it, they sue you, and that kind of sucks. You have to create your line of defense. You don't bring the pain home ever again. He's a guy, he lost his job. Boo-hoo-hoo. Sorry, I don't think anybody really cares, to be honest with you. He should be getting to the church, get some food for the family, go drive an Uber or Lyft, and then start his own corporation through the corporation and the divisions. Now, I went through the same thing when I lost everything. They stole my life 14 years ago in 2009. What am I going to do? Boo-hoo. I sold my wedding ring, my Rolex, my necklace, my bracelet. I had 12 garage sales in Huntington Beach. I got cited 3 times. A corporation can build itself. His opportunity, he's not looking. He's feeling sorry for himself and keeping himself down. You're allowed to feel sorry for yourself for 3 minutes or less. Then it's time to go see it, believe it, go get it. There's no more excuses for anybody. Now, I designed this system for me for $150 per entity and every card to get 9 more. Under the Fair Lending Act, we're entitled to it. And then from there, we got to look at checkbook money. That can be literally up to $2.5 million. If you want to build your foundation, and that's what I want to help you do. I like to do most of the work for you and teach you how to daisy chain credit. From there, remember, divisions, you're not liable. You're not a duck. You're not even on it, and it's a liability line. So the only way you can play the game with me is simple. I'll add 2,000 of history. I'll build a corporate umbrella for you, and I'll give each division for $4.99 each, 3 for $14.97. It's a Zell. You write down RW for Zell, Ray's webinar, and then you tell me what you sell for it too. Simple. Ray Reynolds recipient, ray@rayscredit.com. So we play. If you need to call the office, you do that too. So I like goodies. You like goodies yet? I always like goodies I obtained, don't you? So I think you should have $1 million of credit cards and $5 million of checkbook money. I think that should be your goal. Maybe you'll write it down today and turn these up too. Make you a money-making machine. Sell products. Open accounts. I can open accounts and sell products right away. I call it OPM money. From there, 100,000 to $1 million. You'll pay a billing vendor up to 90 days. And I wrote a program even for Dun & Bradstreet how to do this too. Sell products on Amazon and eBay. So if you allow me to build you up here, then I want to get you that green unlimited card they see on TV all the time. Times 9. B of A times 9. All right. Wells Fargo times 9. Inc card times 9. Gold times 9. Division process allows you to create multiple entities. So here's up to 5 million. And what do we do like next? We look at checkbook money. Banks give you up to 150 unsecured as long as you have a 2-year corp. That's per division. Here's my 5 favorite ones. So you can get up to 5.4 million in checkbook money too. But they want you to have a 2-year corporation. If you don't, wait till next year or get one we have in stock. But you'll have to pay for it, and then you have to file it in your own state too. We'll help and guide you through that process. The office sells it for $9.99. From there, I give a discount for $4.99. when you're on the webinar with me. It's a Zell. So the ultimate goal is very simple today. You can always call the office for help on that too. I got basically 8 classes in rotation on Saturday during my 10 classes. It's called specialty. So this Saturday is Dun & Bradstreet. The one is almost sold out right now anyway. It always is sold out every 8 weeks. So here we go. Specialty classes are $9.99, usually for 90 days, or I charge $4.99 per class as we play. The main thing you have to understand today is simple. Borrow money is not taxable. All right, you have to invest your money for your lifetime income, building residual income, and understand the only thing gets to screw up from now on with no intent to defraud is the division. This is basically have your cake and eat it too. Raise rules, become a certified CFO, never bring the pain home. So what would you do if I give you a check for $1 million today? Sorry, you'd probably put it in your personal account. I'd say that's silly and dumb. You get to keep $375. Put it in a corporation or division of you. Keep all the money, pay all the bills first, and pay tax on the leftover. So we have to look at the United States of America as an example again, too. They got 50 corporations called states. And then the next thing, what do? Very simple. All right. Then the states got cities, and those are corporations, too. They created Chapter 9 bankruptcy, just in case blank hits the fan. You could do the same thing, too, as long as you have no intent to do fraud. Ultimate goal, but that's up to you. Step 9. Please Google bankruptcy today. I'd like you to make a decision the next time, all right, blank hits the fan in your life. Is it SSN or SS4? You have to make a decision on that too. From here, let me add you to my credit system. And what will happen is we can build you up to $1 million, as long as you go to class, not follow any what, and follow through. And that's all you need to do. We build it up, and away. From there, here's the starter package. Let's think. National average for a corporation is $3,000 to $5,000. I don't understand, stupid. Because they're free in all 50 states. People don't learn diddly squat. So if we rebuild the credit, rapid score, articles, offices, tax ID, if you don't have them, if you do, we'll build what you got. We put you in a live class with me every Wednesday and Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you need to do this now to get into tomorrow's class. We charge you $999. We're going to give you $5,000 of credit back. 5 times your investment. I'm going to analyze you, add history, and start popping credit as soon as possible, and teach you how to be a certified CFO. Would that be okay with you today? If you Zell for that too, ultimate goal, or call the office as well. So beat your doubt, run your race, get out of my way, and rebuild you, please. That's what I'd like to do. Get you past go because I think you're stuck. Mansions in the harbor, race boats and yachts, RayReynoldsUniversity.com. Lamborghinis, helicopters, and buildings too. I would like you to change your driver's license for privacy purposes to basically P.O. Box, mail, and address, but that's up to you. Step 12. Now let's look at the car you drive today. See, when you went to the dealership, they sweated you for 5 hours. You allowed them to treat you like a duck and a sheep. You lost thousands of dollars. You got up to 9 inquiries. That's not how you buy a car, by the way. A car should be fleet price, tax ID division, and you learn to be a certified CFO. Now, you buy a house, don't put 2 people on the loan, please. You don't want to create loan to value for 2 people. And the car shouldn't be your car. If you lose the house or car, don't worry, the creditor's going to report it to the credit bureaus, and you're going to have now shitty credit. Then they're going to report it to the IRS as a 1099-C. So now you have an IRS problem. So you have double shitty credit. Sorry to say it's true. So plan the problem. In other words, registering of a car should be a division and not a person. Because you can afford to get rid of a division, but not you. Ultimate goal, planning that problem. Next, we got to think about pieces of property in each division because we don't always have something fall and sue us and kind of mess us up. Your house payment offsets your what? It's offset by your income, and your house payment offsets taxes. From here, Amazon didn't pay tax on the first 10 billion, and they're sure not paying tax now they're worth 2 trillion. They know how to play the game. You need to learn to play too. You see, there's no loophole. They're doing what they're allowed to do. We watched him buy Twitter with the line of credit online. All right, I call him totally dumb. Then he screwed it up in 2 weeks. From there, he's got a spaceship. So's the other guy. So you can join the club if you want to and win the battle. but you have to pay attention starting today, step 15. Now let's play. Run your life through a corporation or conjunction. Very simple to do. Pay tax, buy a Lamborghini. Simple to do and understand your paycheck's taxable income. Currently, you pay the what? The car payment, gas, registration, insurance. You could yell no today, or you can drive a company car like I do. It's up 17. Why don't you go to irs.gov today and get a hold of an SS form? It'll tell you banking and credit purposes and how you never had to be a duck ever again. You shouldn't have been one in the first place. Now, Mama, she delivered a baby this morning. Ever since Nixon took the gold standard out, that means she has to sign the SS5 form to be released from the hospital with the baby, to bond the baby up to $35 million apiece. See, everything for me is rules and tools. Escrow, close, homestead, trust. Very simple. From there, that's what we should do. Now, if you got a house not in a trust, I'm sorry, when they sue you, they kind of mess you up. And when you're dead and get stuck in a probate, your family got diddly squat. You fix up a property, you hire the contractor, oh goody. They hire the subcontractor that stand outside Home Depot. And what happens next is simple. All right, when they slip and fall and they cut corners, they sue you, kind of mess you up too. My way, they get diddly squat. Would you like diddly squat instead? Irrevocable trust today. Step 19, 6 more to go. So if you want to be basically a tax crook, all right, you understand something, there's no way to play peekaboo with the IRS making a mess. Wesley Snipes tried it. He went to prison for 3 years and fined $5 million. So keep yourself in the system. Don't play peekaboo with the IRS and making a mess. They do have a form called 656 433 A and B. Get your butt back in the system starting today. That's step 20. From there, be an OPM. Save up to 70%. Don't pay a bill up to 90 days. From there, you get an escrow close for $200,000. You leverage it to $15 million. So you borrow money is not taxable. Line of defense. Step 21 called blackjack. Oops, you get to win. What a concept too. Here's my office. 2009, 14 years ago, before I was stuck in a coma and got to die and come back and they stole all my goodies. So it's one technology driver of Rent Spectrum. Check it out. Doing up to $1 million a day. 3 locations in other states too. What am I going to do when I came out of that coma? Go home and go boohoo like you? Heck no. You'll see, understand, I got my blueprint out. See it, believe it, go get it. I got out my 5 closet divisions. Then I built another $1 million of credit. Why would I stay down? I don't understand. Why do you stay down? We have to rebuild you. Step 22. 1,000 steps. That's all you got to learn to do. From there, if you don't have a copy of the Millionaire's Founders Kit, it's free today for $99 shipping and handling. All you have to do is Zelle, and Zelle what you Zelle for, RW, and put the address you want it shipped to right away. Simple to do. Or call the office at 800-254-9506. So I'm online 6 days a week, or in person usually, before a pandemic. All right, I can hold your hand and we can sing Kumbaya, and I can rebuild your life, and I can be your coach for the rest of your life if you want me to. I've been coaching people for 45 years to million to billion. Let me know if you need some help. From there, you want $1 million of credit? No problem. You call 800-254-9506. You ask for the floor manager's name is Santos. You want me to be your coach this year and next year? What do you do again? Call Santos. Very simple to do. Credit, loan, and money, financial freedom, income up to $50,000 a month. We get to play, and if you don't have a program with me yet, click, take a picture. You get a phone call in 90 days, level 1, 2, and 3 specialty classes based on your investment, how much bonus credit you get back to you. Now, again, if you're a client and you want to add $10,000 of credit, it's $499 or $999 for $25,000 if it's Zelled during the class only. And as it says, current active customer only. As we play, getting that $100,000 is 4 steps to do. Add you to a credit card, ask for separate billing, rebuild you, and you get your own card off my card from you. But again, it's usually 10%, which is the $10,000 for $100,000. Today, if it was done during the broadcast, it's $39.99. Ultimate go. You Zell is all you got to do. So let's understand today. All right, corporations, a legal person may sue or be sued. Divisions are your line of defense. That's the ultimate goal, to create a line of defense for the corp and your family. Don't bring the pain home. 9 divisions up to that is $1 million. 41 is up to $5 million. We get to play. So remember, divisions, you're not liable. You're not a duck anymore. So if we build the corporate umbrella for you, 2,000 history to it, what am I going to do? Usually $4.99 per division and 3 for $14.97. All you do is Zell, and get it done right away. We'll file it for you. Simple to do. As we play, remember, Zell or call the office phone number. From there, what are you willing to lose? Family, corp, or division? I designed it so we both get checkmate. Would that be okay? So the ultimate goal, step 23, we get to play the game and win. So I like the Lamborghinis in the big building saying Ray Reynolds University.com, don't you? Reaching the dream thing to be the impossible. Ray's rules, making millionaires and billionaires under corporations and divisions, training people to be a certified CFO. Ultimate goal. As we play, remember today, all right, having joint credit's just in the way. You buy a house, let's go close Homestead Trust. Why people spend thousands for a corporation loan diddly squat, I don't know. They're free in all 50 states today. Pay a little filing fee. I'm going to need a division for real estate, franchise, current business, and set up the line of defense. Ray's rules are simple. I want to build your bonus cash credit, not only to take away excuses, but the reality is that way you can finance it and write it all off too. Step 24. If all you want me to do today is repackage you to a 750, not hard to do, analyze you right away, rapid rescore. Next, what we do is put you in class. We focus on the 750. You learn rules and tools. $9.99 normally, $1,000 a card back to you. Today, during the broadcast, it is discounted to $4.99. The card becomes $500 back to you. Very simple to do. If you want to start a package for corporation, all the things are done for you. If you have a corp, we'll build that one. If not, we'll hand you a new one for free. And it's every Wednesday and Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, the setup level 1 class. For $9.99, I'm going to rebuild your whole life and give you $5,000 of credit on top of that. 5 times your investment, add history, analyze, and start popping credit as soon as possible, and train you to be the certified CFO you need to be. Ultimate goal. So that's a Zell during the broadcast only. From there, what do we get to do? I get to rebuild you. If you want me to give me referrals, I'll build more credit or I'll Zell you back 10%. But you got to remember something. They have to say your name when they sign up. If not, they blew it for you. Do yourself a favor today. Email me their name and phone number so you can get credit for that too. Corporation, divisions, banks, bankrupt branches, and the branch numbers. So what do we get to do? We get to play and get to win too. No matter if it's Geico, Cities, or Sam's Club, or banks and grocery stores. We all have the ability, all right, to stop bringing the pain home, become a certified CFO, and reprogram our brain to millionaire status. Look behind the curtain, stop bringing the pain home. We stay safe and strong. We do our best. Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. So at the end of the day, what I offered today needs to be Zell, or call the office right away at 800-254-9506. The ultimate goal is going to be up to you. Remember, we do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. And at the end of the day, we never forget God loves us all.